James? You want to go over the rules quickly with them? Yeah. Yeah, we have two subjects today.
All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. So as you guys know, it's BOTC Academics Week. There are a few rules for academics. Some of you guys already noticed, but I'll just go over them again really quickly. There's going to be 4 rounds per subject. That's 4 rounds. Each question will be asked one time. Time will begin immediately after the question is asked. First answers are the only answers accepted. Questions must be answered during given time in order to get the credit. The times for each round are 30 seconds, 50 seconds, 1 minute and 10 seconds, and 1 minute and 25 seconds. But if teachers indicate for more time will be allotted. If the audience gives any answers or hints, then the points will be deducted from that class, from the amount of points that we're going to be given. If any corrections need to be made, then they'll be brought to the teacher at the end of the chapel with essay. So if you have a concern about a question, then I ask during the moment, ask after, and yeah, that's it.
Just to let you know that the official timekeeper is Mr. David Henry Saturday, being held by Alex, who's the scorekeeper. We are now going to begin with English. Can you hear me? We are now going to begin with English.
One, two. Yeah, I'll let you know. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Can I have a little bit more, please? I think he. Yes, he heard me. He heard me. Just a little bit more, Mr. Romain, please. 1, 2, 1, 2. Thank you. I'm going to instruct all teams to work together, right? Don't allow one person to answer. Give your answer as well, so you can make use of the time. Round 1. We have 30 seconds. Freshmen, your first round question. Identify the 8 parts of speech. Please use your mic. And you can answer them. You have 30 seconds. Take the mic up. Start answering. Start answering. Turn it on. Yeah, they're turning it on.
Nouns,
adjectives,
verbs,
verbs,
pronouns,
adverbs,
conjunctions,
conjunctions, prepositions, interjections. That is correct.
All right, sophomores, your question. You have 30 seconds, and you're answering each part of the question within that time frame. Identify the following in the following sentence. After a long day of lecturing, the erudite teacher graciously presented the eager students with a challenging assignment. You're going to tell me the complete subject, the verb, the direct object, and if there is an indirect object, you're going to tell me what the indirect object is.
The verb is lecturing. The complete subject is erudite teacher.
All right, so time is up, but you answered incorrectly. So the complete subject is the erudite teacher. The verb is presented. The direct object is assignment. And the indirect object, there is one, and it's students.
All right. Can you hear me, juniors? Okay. Ready. American literature is a course where we study various authors and works that helped shape America's literary identity. List the literary movements we've studied thus far in order, ending in the period that we are currently studying.
What test? Romanticism, dark romanticism.
All right, time is incorrect. We start with Native American, Puritan, Revolutionary, Romanticism, Dark Romanticism, Transcendentalism, Realism, Modernism. All right. All right, seniors. Ready, here we go. Identify a type of media bias and provide an example. Senior English, yeah.
Political bias and
Example of this is if someone writes like a journal only in the view of a Republican and doesn't even look at the Democrat and just...
Correct.
All right, freshmen, you have 50 seconds to answer this question, and it's 2 parts. Identify the parts of a short story, and then the second part is identify at least 4 parts of the plot diagram.
setting, theme, characters, plot. Climax. That's the last thing. That's what it said.
So tell me which question you're answering.
A.
Okay.
Exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution for 1B.
Okay, so you're incorrect because the first part of the question where it says the parts of a short story, you said climax. That is the part of the plot diagram. So All right, sophomores, you ready? Yeah. All right, question. And again, you guys have 50 seconds. What is denotation versus connotation? And then how does our choice of words affect the meaning of how someone may interpret a reading?
Denotation is the dictionary definition. Connotation is how a person perceives the words and interprets it.
The second part.
Our choice of words affects the meaning how someone may interpret a reading by, they may interpret it negatively or positively.
Okay. I'm not going to take the answer because your definition of connotation is the emotions associated with the word. It's not how you perceive. Okay? Yes.
All right. AP. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Ready, AP? Define deductive reasoning and provide an example. Define deductive reasoning and provide an example.
It's like when something is general based into like smaller base. Okay. So if Johnny has, if a person loves cows, right? And
But you were on the right track. It was time. I'm sorry, sweetheart. All right. AP senior level. Ready? Define inductive reasoning and provide an example.
Inductive reasoning is reasoning that takes a small example and makes a broader generalization of it. An example would be, I saw a cat purr outside yesterday, so all cats must purr.
Correct.
Okay, freshmen, you have a minute and 20 seconds. A minute and 20 seconds. This is a long-winded question. It's a Miss Ball question. All right. Okay, I need the types of conjunctions. That's part A. I need to know what their functions are. One of these types has 7 words. What are these words and which conjunction is it? And the last one, what does the acronym I saw a wabub mean?
So for 1A, there's correlative, coordinative, and subordinating conjunctions.
Yes.
1C, that's for coordinating, and it's for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so.
What about B? General, yes.
Conjunctions are used to...
No. There are 3. Okay. You have 30 seconds.
Correlative conjunctions are used to connect two clauses or phrases.
That's time, so that's incorrect. Coordinating links, independent clauses, subordinating links, 1 dependent, 2 an independent, and the correlative conjunctions, they work together in a sentence, all right?
All right, for this question, you will have 1 minute and 25 seconds. Write a thematic statement using one of the following stories that we have read this school year. Explain how this theme is prevalent in the story using supporting details. So from the list of those 3 stories, give me a thematic statement with the theme and supporting details. You guys could tell me the supporting details, but write down the thematic statement.
Self-confidence is key in. All right, you make.
How much time is that? 35 seconds.
Okay, so self-identity, we have the statement, but self-identity is key in navigating how
Which
we
story?
exist. And I'm sorry, we're doing The Color of Water, because he needed to know who he was. He was in a society full of different people, and he needed to identify himself and be able to be confident in who he is. And the statement is, identity is what we all seek for in life.
The timer went off exactly when you finished the statement, so can you read it one more time, please? Read the statement one more time.
Identity is what
We all seek for in life.
is what identity.
Identity is what we all seek for in life.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take that.
All right, juniors, you have 1 minute and 45 seconds to answer this question. I'll read the question. I think it's better for you to just talk your answer out to me so you can get the answer done in time. But if you prefer to write it and read it, that's up to you. But it has to be answered within the time, okay? All right. The central idea of a text is different from the theme of a text. In one sentence, identify the central idea of The Great Gatsby, and then tell me one theme found in the novel and give me an example, like explain how it's found in the work.
Okay, for the central idea, a young man who moved into West Egg. Okay, a young man who moved into West Egg and is faced with difficulties by the people around him. And a theme is love, because in The Great Gatsby, Jay Gatz, he fell in love with this girl he met in the past, Daisy, and he tried so hard to make extravagant parties just so that she could notice him.
Can you give me what kind of love?
love is unconditional.
Guys, remember the theme is not just one word, all right? But you were still in the time, so that's fine. All right, seniors. I will also give the minute and 45. You will also have a minute and 45. In Shakespeare's play Othello, the character Iago is often considered one of the most villainous figures in literature. However, some scholars argue that Iago is not purely evil, but rather a complex character driven by his own insecurities and motivations. How does Shakespeare use language, dialogue, and other literary devices to portray the complexity of Iago's character? And what does this suggest about the nature of evil in the play? So, in order to answer this question, just do the bullet points. 1, briefly discuss the complexity of Iago's character, and then give me examples of how Shakespeare uses language, dialogue, and another literary device to portray this complex character, and then comment on what the 2 points above tell us about the nature of evil in the play.
Okay, so the complexity of Iago's character is that he is seen as a very honest man, but in reality he's broken by what he perceives Othello did to him, like the rumor of him sleeping with his wife and the fact that he gave the position to Cassio instead of him. You can see him doubting himself. He's not really evil for real. Like, he thinks he's doing the right thing, but when you read the book, you can tell that he's very evil.
A specific example of Shakespeare using language and dialogue would be when Othello calls Iago honest Iago, and that's an epithet, and
Just move on to the last point. You're doing well. Last point.
So, discuss 2 points. Okay, so he twisted everything and lied and made it seem like Othello's wife cheated on him, even though she didn't, which shows that he's truly evil. And then when his friend was no longer useful for him, he let him die and didn't really care.
So what does this tell us overall about the nature of evil?
So his evil is the perception of what happened to him, even though it's not really bad, but he thinks what he's doing is right, even though it's evil.
I'll take it. That's correct. Yeah.
All right, freshmen, last question. You're going to have a minute and 45 seconds to answer this question. Use the following words in sentences using context clues. So you have fait accompli, coiffe, and bifurcated. So each of those words, no. 3 separate sentences. All right. Moving on to the sophomores. You guys are going to be writing again. For this last question, it's going to be 2 minutes. Okay, I'm giving you 2 minutes for this question. I would advise you to each take a word. Identify the part of speech, definition, and create a sentence with context clues for these 2 words, acrid and portend. You have 1 minute and 5 seconds. Just start talking.
For acrid, we have the lemon left an acrid taste in her mouth, which caused her to wince.
Okay.
The definition is bitter, sour taste.
Okay.
And then it's an adjective.
Okay. Guys, come on.
Okay, go. So, portend, the sentence, the dark clouds are used to portend the fact that there will be a storm. Definition, something that precedes another as a warning of. And the part of speech, adjective.
It's not an adjective, it's a verb.
All right. Guys, let's settle down so that they can hear. Juniors, so I am going to allot 3 minutes for this question. You will have 1 minute to read the paragraph and then 2 minutes to write your answer. You are going to write a thesis statement for a rhetorical analysis essay based on the paragraph that you see here on the screen. Can you pause it for a second? Mr. Romain, the actual paragraph is not there. That's like the opening, but the paragraph is the next. Yeah. You know what? Hold on. There. I'm right to RC choices. You need both.
Hi.
In the speech delivered October 25th, 2020, mental health advocate and wellness coach Amalia Barker emphasizes the need of mental health awareness,
what's the word?
Defines how you can reach your full potential. And encourages her audience to make a conscious effort to prioritize self-care and mental health in order to highlight how beneficial mental health can be for oneself, ultimately encouraging her audience to create a happier, healthier society for all.
That is correct.
Just need this back. I'm proud of you. Oh my God.
All right, seniors, let's do this. So you will have the same 3 minutes. You will read the passage, 1 minute to read, 2 minutes to answer, okay? You're going to write a conclusion for a rhetorical analysis essay based on the paragraph. So, Ms. Romain, go to the next one. This is all they need. You want, yeah.
While we're waiting, please get your history teams ready. Once they're finished, come in right away so we can start.
A minute 30 remaining.
Throughout her speech, Baker shines a light on the true importance of mental and emotional health on success, illuminating the fact that success is not only defined by external achievements.
We're now going to invite the history buffs. I hope Ezekiel is in the sophomore class. All right, he saw the wheel. All right, freshmen. Seniors. Wait a minute. You seniors are doing history too? That's not right. Juniors. All right. Ms. Ball, it's all yours. Sorry, and Miss Henry. By the way, guys, I want to say something. This is school, you know. And there's some of you that are sitting there when the questions are being asked. You should try to answer them. Because some of you have no clue. Because this is school. You're in a classroom. The only thing I would say to the sophomores, and they're my guys, they're my heart, is that when you go to the Olympics, you bring your best team. No fear. Love you.
Okay, freshmen. 30 seconds on the clock. There are 5 parts to this question, but you are just answering the question. You don't have to restate the question, okay? Question 1A, what was the special salt used to dry the body during mummification? B, this ceremony is the last one performed and gives the deceased the ability to eat, speak, and move. C, the scene or ceremony where a person's soul was judged is known as the blank. D, this organ was considered useless, so it was removed and thrown away. And E, the only organ left in the body was the blank. It was believed to be the center of intelligence.
A is natron salt. B is opening of the mouth. C is weighing of the heart. D is the brain, and E is the heart.
That is correct.
All right, sophomores. 40 seconds. What new philosophy developed during the Renaissance? Explain this philosophy and sing the first verse of the Renaissance song. All right. 40 seconds, go. Shh. Make sure it's on, yeah.
All right, the new philosophy is humanism. It was an intellectual movement that took place during the Renaissance in which scholars studied the ancient classical cultures of Rome and Greece in order to gain further understanding of their times. They studied the subject of grammar, poetry, rhetoric, and history. And the first verse is, in Florence, Italy, that's where it started. Because of trade.
Oh, you're to sing. I did say sing.
In Florence, Italy, that's where it started. Because of trade, knowledge was imparted from the 14th century right until today. The Renaissance impact still has its sway.
All right. I feel like I should deduct points because everyone should have sung that song, but we're good. All right, we're good. It was a mild threat. Yes, sir. That's right. All right. Oops. Okay, U.S. history. And guys, once again, you're getting 40 seconds. Split up the answers, okay? Explain Manifest Destiny, the Compromise of 1820, and the Dred Scott case.
Manifest Destiny is the God-given right believed by the Americans to expand westward to the Pacific Ocean.
The Compromise of 1820 was when the admission of Missouri as a slave state and Maine as a free state to balance the slave and free state.
And the Dred Scott case was a case from the Supreme Court to decide that slaves were not humans and had no rights.
Time. totally dissatisfied. Time, no points. U.S. government. This is U.S. government. What are the four, it's a two-part question, and let's do 40. What are the four characteristics of the state? And part B, what are the four theories on the origins of the state? Characteristics and theories.
The four characteristics are land, government, population.
Incorrect. There's no land. Thank you.
Okay, freshmen. 50 seconds for this question. It's 5 parts again. Define the following terms: peninsula, latitude, longitude, monsoon, and domestication.
A peninsula is land that is surrounded by water on only 3 sides.
Monsoon is seasonal winds. Latitude are the imaginary lines that are parallel to the equator. Longitude are the lines that are parallel to the prime meridian. And domestication is when the people back in the Neolithic age, like, tamed animals.
That is correct.
All right, you have 50 seconds and only 50 seconds. After the Opium War, China signed this treaty with Great Britain. What? No, that's government. Okay, so we're at Global Studies round 2. Oh, that was my bad. That was me, right, Mr. Amin? I should have made probably a different slide, I think. Yeah, so that's me. So I'll just, yes. So, after the Opium War, China signed the treaty with Great Britain. What was the name of the treaty? And give at least 5 terms in the treaty. You have 50 seconds. And 5 terms that were in the treaty. Way up in the middle of the air.
The treaty was a Treaty of Nanking. Extraterritoriality, indemnities.
Oh, extraterritoriality. Mm-hmm.
Indemnity was
That's correct.
paid. Opium was legal, and Christian missionaries were allowed to enter China, and Hong Kong was ceded to the British.
That's correct. Juniors, you'll have 1 minute. That's 10 extra seconds. Repeat the preamble of the Declaration of Independence. Who is the author? And explain the details of the 3/5 compromise. The Declaration of Independence. Who is the author? And explain the details of the 3/5 compromise.
Okay, so the author for the Declaration of Independence is Thomas Jefferson. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creators with certain unalienable rights, that to obtain these rights,
You're mixing the two. 3/5 compromise? And 0. Alrighty. All right. Government, you also have 1 minute. What are the 6 foundation principles of the Constitution and the 6 functions of the Constitution? The 6 foundation principles of our Constitution and the 6 functions of the Constitution. 1 minute.
Provide the general will for the foundations of the.
Okay.
Promote the general welfare.
Yes.
Provide for the common defense.
Yes.
Ensure the domestic tranquility.
Establish justice.
I'm sorry, I started it. Please be aware we also have the 6 foundation principles of the Constitution to go.
Separation of powers.
Yes.
Checks and balances.
Yes.
Judicial review.
Time.
Freshmen, 1 minute and 10 seconds. Describe the difference between Confucianism, legalism, and Taoism.
Okay. Confucianism is the religion where you have honor and respect for those around you. Legalism is to have strict rules in order to keep balance and strict punishments for people who break those rules. And Taoism is to flow with the way of nature and have 2 opposing forces for everything in life.
That is correct.
All right, sophomores, you'll get no extra time for this because this is easy. I'm beating myself. This one slipped through. You have 1 minute and 10 seconds. Please state the belief, ideology, and/or definition of the following. And please be very specific. Copernicus, Baron de Montesquieu, Satyagraha, imperialism, Renaissance.
All right. I'm gonna go with Baron de Montesquieu. For Baron de Montesquieu, his belief system involved checks and balances and separation of powers.
Correct.
Copernicus believed in a heliocentric solar system. That means it revolves around the sun.
Correct.
The Renaissance literal definition is rebirth, which refers to the rebirth in culture in Europe.
Yes.
Imperialism is a complete takeover of a country by another, politically, socially, and economically.
Correct.
And Satyagraha is non-violent resistance.
By whom?
By Gandhi.
That is correct. All right. Yes, sir. Huh? I'm loving it. All right. Juniors, you will have 1 minute and 30 seconds. You are going to define the following. Listen to them. the spoils system, Jacksonian politics, Trail of Tears, and nullification. Part B, why was Andrew Jackson called a tyrant? Give 2 examples. 1 minute and 30 seconds.
The spoils system was a system in which when someone wins a political office, their friends would get offices.
Correct.
Andrew Jackson was called a tyrant because he forcibly removed the Indians off of their land and because he abolished the, what's it called? He abolished the National Bank.
Correct.
Jacksonian politics are supporting for the people. Politics for the people are Jacksonian politics. The Trail of Tears, the Cherokees were moved off of their land and they were forced to relocate to the Mississippi River. 4,000 died.
Yeah, nullification.
To void, make legally void of a law is nullification.
So no. Nullification is the attempt to put state's law above federal law. Yes, and the Trail of Tears was the movement to Oklahoma where 3,000 died, not 4,000. The rest was absolutely correct, however. Great job. Yes. All right. Now, seniors, you have been, you know what, in the you know where. You are going to define 1 minute and 30 seconds to define these small words. Scarcity, shortage, opportunity cost, law of demand, law of marginal utility, mixed economy, and the factors of production.
So the law of marginal utility is that with each unit that you use, the additional satisfaction is lost each time. The law of demand is that there's an inverse relationship between quantity demanded and
what?
Between quantity demanded and demand. Scarcity is the fact that there's not enough resources in the world for everybody, so the world's always in scarcity. Shortage is when a specific item is running out, like during a famine or something like that.
Mixed economy is when there's the people have they run the economy, but there is government intervention to have laws.
Limited government intervention, but it has the characteristics of a free enterprise. Opportunity cost is what you give up. It's like the next best option when you make a trade-off. And the factors of production are land, labor, capital, and...
I'm just gonna stop you right there. The law of demand says that when prices go up, demand goes, and vice versa. Great job. Which other one there? Mixed economy is the presence of 2 types of economy. I would accept the government intervention, but I thought this was easy. Thank you. So.
Okay, freshmen, last question. Okay, multiple parts to this question. You have 1 minute and 25 seconds. First part, identify the eightfold path. Then you're gonna give me the definitions of the following words: karma, dharma, reincarnation, and ahimsa. Go ahead and answer.
the Eightfold Path, it's right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right effort, right livelihood, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Ahimsa is nonviolence. Reincarnation is the belief that you are born in another form after you die. Dharma is moral duties in someone's life, and karma is the belief that what comes around goes around. And what you do in one life comes back to affect you in another life.
Okay, so for Dharma, it's your religious and moral duties in life, so that was wrong.
Okay, sophomores, you'll have 2 minutes for this, your last question. Describe in detail, giving the significance of the Salt March, the Homespun Movement, and the Scramble for Africa. Also, I need the 4 causes of World War I, and you're going to explain how these reasons caused a world war. Two minutes.
The 4 causes of World War I are militarism, alliance systems, imperialism, and nationalism. Militarism would cause a war because each country was stockpiling weapons so that in case of a war, they would be ready for it, and it actually led to tensions between and rivalries between different nations. The alliance system caused two distinct groups, the Central Powers and the Allies, so that, well, those are the wartime names, but it would cause even more tensions between them. The imperialism, it began the rivalries, and it began the arms race, it began the alliance system because everyone was trying to get a piece of land and gain more colonies. And nationalism, it caused Balkan troubles, which would eventually spark World War I, and it also kept the war going on for as long as it did.
Okay, Salt March, Homespun Movement, Scramble for Africa.
Scramble for Africa began in 1884, the Berlin Conference, and 1889, you told me it was 84. Okay, well, 84 to 85. 84 to 85. It was a long conference. I think it was November. It was basically all the countries wanted to gain colonies in Africa.
The homespun movement was a boycotting of, in India, where they were boycotting. Britain made merchandise because they were taking from the people to make it and sell back to the people. The SALT movement was a peaceful protest. They marched to...
Is that correct?
Good job. Okay, thank you. Juniors, you'll have 2 minutes. Give 4 reasons why the Articles of Confederation did not work. That's A. B, what event proved that it was too weak to govern the states? C, when was the Constitutional Convention held? D, what government, and in detail, did the Constitution create? Which one we doing first?
A.
A. 4 reasons, only 4.
So they couldn't.
Come on, remove the mask. They couldn't?
They couldn't declare war. They had a weak government. They couldn't impose taxes.
Mhm.
And they needed 9 out of 13 states to vote.
For what? Guys, you're choosing the hardest reasons.
For laws, they needed representatives.
So no, let's, yeah. Good try, yeah. Two and a half minutes for the seniors. What is the difference between quantity demanded and demand? That's A. B, which moves along the curve and which shifts the curve? What are some determinants that cause the curve to shift? I need 5. C, an increase will see the curve shift in what direction?
Okay, so we'll do C first. An increase, we'll see the curve shift to the right.
Correct. That's C.
Change in.
Which question you answered?
We're done to B.
B, which moves along the curve and which shifts the curve?
Okay, we'll do determinants that cause the curves to shift.
Okay.
Income.
Yes. We need 5.
Demographics.
Yes. You have 2. We're still answering what, which moves along the curve and which shifts the curve between quantity demanded and demand. I don't know where. Where's Jadelyn when you need her, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
Yes.
quantity demanded.
What happened to it?
Quantity demanded moves along the curve.
Yes, sir.
And demand shifts the curve.
That is correct.
The difference between quantity demanded and demand is quantity demanded is the amount of products that's demanded at a certain price.
That is
and,
correct.
Demand is the willingness and ability to pay for products at a price.
That's correct.
The determinants are population, income, demographics.
Come on, come on. We need 2 more. How much time do you have left? Huh? You have 30 seconds, okay. 30 seconds for 2 more. Population, income, demographics.
Price of related goods.
Yes.
Price of related goods.
1 more. Huh?
Consumer expectations.
What?
Consumer expectations.
Yes, that is correct.
That was very good, very good. All right, Mr. Romain, what time for lunch when it ends? 1:25? All right, guys, lunch ends at 1:25. Before you go, today was awesome. Let's give it a hand. All right, let's pray. Lord, thank you so much for today. Thank you for the teams that participated. We pray that tomorrow will even be greater. In your name we pray. Amen. Seniors, you may go.